Hello, my name is Suzette McCarthy, and I'm here to present an overview of initiatives and referendums in a YouTube video. I will cover several topics including the basic definitions of both, their origins, and comparison and contrast of the two. Additionally, I will discuss the advantages and disadvantages associated with each. I will also explain how initiatives and referendums empower Arizona residents and support direct democracy as outlined in the Arizona Constitution. Let's get started. An initiative is a process that allows Arizona voters to propose new laws, amend existing laws, or suggest constitutional amendments by collecting signatures from fellow voters. A referendum, on the other hand, is a way for Arizona voters to approve or veto a law enacted by a state legislator. However, the voters must gather signatures to place it on the ballot for the next election. Here is how the two are created. The initiatives are formed when citizens first establish a committee and submit an application to the State Secretary of State's office. Once received, it will need to be approved and assigned a serial number. Then, the committee can begin gathering signatures to support it. The signatures then need to be submitted back to the state secretary so they can be placed on the general ballot for the next election for a constitutional amendment. Although this sounds like an easy process, to be considered for an amendment, they must provide a sufficient number of signatures. For referendums to be included, a petition must be filled with the required number of signatures as stated in the Arizona Constitution. A referendum needs a 5% vote. Before a committee can start collecting signatures, it must apply and wait for a assigned serial number. The Secretary of State's office must receive the required signatures within 90 days. Now, I will begin comparing and contrasting the selections. While both initiatives and referendums are forms of direct democracy, there are some notable differences between the two. For initiatives, voters can propose new laws or propose amendments to an existing law. The initiatives propose creating new rules or amendments that legislators have not been previously addressed. The citizens always propose initiatives. A referendum allows voters to approve or reject legislation that the state legislators have already passed. There are two types of referendums. The first type is known as legislative referendum, and the second is referred to as the popular referendum. A legislative referendum occurs when legislation submits an amendment to a law and the voters must vote for the approval. The popular referendum allows citizens to change any laws passed by legislators. However, they must collect a certain number of signatures from qualified voters to put that law on the next ballot. This allows the citizens to have direct say in which laws are placed on the ballot for voters to either approve or to veto. There are many pros and cons for both initiatives and referendums. The benefits of an initiative include the ability for citizens to influence law, increased opportunity for voters, support the engagement of the citizens, and the flexibility to tailor laws to meet the individual needs of a community. The cons of an initiative are that it may empower the voters in such a way that the implementation of new laws can be costly and take way too much time to be enacted. Initiatives may also be too complex for the average voter to understand. Since citizens have a significant say in new laws, some committees with more substantial presence in the committee may have a specialized agenda when attempting to enact new laws. On the other hand, the advantages of a referendum include allowing citizens to have a direct voice in legislative matters, ensuring that the elected officials are held accountable for controversial items, and preventing the enactment of unpopular laws. The cons for a referendum can include too many complex problems that may have incomplete or false information. A referendum may also create division within a community and lead to conflict amongst its citizens. Direct democracy encompasses both initiatives and referendums, which are an essential element outlined in the Arizona Constitution. The citizens of Arizona play a direct and crucial role in shaping the laws and how they are enacted or vetoed. This gives the citizens a direct say in how Arizona's government operates, making them responsible and engaged in the Arizona state's governance. This reflects Arizona's commitment to the citizens. Thanks so much and have a great day.